Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video. And in today's video I'm going to be showing you a brand new, for the first time in over 9 months, a brand new Thomas Wooden Railway layout. Now I will admit that this video in total, not just recording but making the layout, did take about a week. I tried to pace myself more on this one than I have in the other layouts, and I think it definitely paid off in just me trying to figure out how to put things together and where to put them. And I'm really proud of what I was able to fit into here, because not only did I get some of the main areas like Tidmouth and Knapford and the docks, but I also was able to get an area like Croven's Gate and an entire narrow gauge railway to fit in here. And so before I continue rambling on more, I'm just going to get directly into this video, starting right here at, if you can see, Knapford Station. If the camera would kindly focus. There we go. So starting out at Knapford on platform 1, I'm noticing this is turned around, but too late for that. We have Edward and Oliver, both pulling trains. Edward has Hector in the gold car, I should say. And then Oliver just has 2 flatbeds and Toad in the back. And then here we have Diesel pulling out of the station with some milk tankers. And then here we come to this little Knapford yard, which I'm actually really happy with how it turned out. So way in the back here we have Dennis, we have a bunch of little stuff, and then here in this flatbed we actually have something that I made. So this was just a block of wood, and while I was at my grandparents' recently, I took it to a bandsaw and just cut it out to make it look like crates or whatever, and then just spray painted it green. So that came out really nice. And that is being pulled by Stafford right there. And then going from the coal hopper, and this line right here actually goes past Rebecca and actually connects to the sheds. And while we're here, we also have Derek, Douglas, Rosie, Hero, Whiff, Hank, and then Splatter and Dodge, unsurprisingly, in a ditch. Because they're stupid. Anyways, moving on. Also in Knapford we have Bulgy pulling up to drop off some passengers, I'd assume. And so, starting off, if we come out either platform, wherever we go, they both converge right here at this switch, crossing track, whatever you want to call it. And so if we go this way first, takes us through to the sheds, past Mr. Jolly's chocolate factory, through a single stone tunnel, all the way down to a T-switch, where if we go this way, we have Hugo at the cider mill, through Henry's tunnel, Ryan, through the bottom level of Gordon's Hill, and if we take this track, you come to a switch, Harold with Thomas and Clarabelle, and I'll show you a better view of that in a little bit. And that loops right back around to this crossing track. And then Edward's line actually goes back to that switch where Brian is past this stop and go station. So I'm going to stand up, and as I just said, I was going to give you a better view of Thomas. So here we have Thomas and Harold. Harold's actually facing away here, so we'll turn him. And on this switch, it takes us to Brendam docks. Now, I did this differently than how I typically do Brendam, because typically for me, Brendam's on a through line, but I actually made it more of a dead end kind of thing. And so, if you go on through, we have Boko and Bill and Ben taunting him, a reference to the Diesel. Along, there's Porter at the end with those 2 ramps, Bulstrode, Cranky, Salty right there, and just a bunch of different buildings, and you have Elizabeth, and just this Brio dump truck, and just a bunch of random things around. And it does look really nice in my opinion. So, moving on, if we go, we're gonna go here. I know where we're going. Going around, we're gonna go this way. And so, at this switch right here, if you go this way, you go to Toby's Windmill, around to the Soto Railway Repair, and if you take this track here, you pass the switch, go over Henry's Tunnel, and back into Diesel's line. But if you go over Gordon's Hill, you go up past Winston, down into that switch near Thomas. And so that is really that portion of the layout completely done. So now we're gonna move on to the rest of it. So I'm gonna zoom in here. if you go on either of those two middle lines of Knapford, you go up past the V-switch, up onto the Viaduct, where Murdoch's pulling the long train, down past what I'm going to call Henry's Forest, where we have Harvey here putting Billy back on the rails. Go over another V-switch to where Henry is. There's Trevor, Terrence, and here's Wilbert's. And then if you go on this way on that switch, you go up through the dumping depot, along to the middle of Gordon's Hill where Stepney is, along that bridge to Percy, down to an accident where Duck is, around, and I realized I forgot to pick Arthur up, but oh well. Then here's Toby at Wellsworth, and that goes back to that T-switch, and here is the Sodor scrapyard. And so then, that leaves only a very small portion of standard gauge left. Oh dear. And I've just knocked something over. And it's not even on the way out. I'll probably make a video on those later. And I won't tell you what it is. Anyways, getting sidetracked. Literally. So, if we go on either of these two lines, it goes onto this switch. And this comes to an item that I've wanted to use in a layout for a very, very long time. Specifically as a Crovan's Gate. In fact, I got it to serve that purpose. But then everything just kind of went crazy, and I couldn't make a video for a while just to, deal with school and everything. But here we come. It's this absolutely massive big jig station. And this thing is just huge, just absolutely huge, and I love it so much. And so here we have, and I put a bunch of Lego people in here, and if you notice right here, we have a little Lego figure of, if you can see him kind of good, Sir Topham Hatt's. And so, over here, platforms 1 and 2 is the standard gauge line, and 3 and 4 is the narrow gauge line. So standard gauge goes straight along through here, where James is with the Express, and Molly is with Rocky going to most likely clean up this accident. If you go this track, that takes you back to that switch, which just takes you back to Knapford. That keeps on going that way, and there's an over-the-track signal and the little signal box right there. And that is the entirety of the standard gauge line. But we do have the narrow gauge line to go to, so let's start here at the station where we have Rheneas with just a little freight train. And so if you go back along this line, you go through another single stone tunnel, you wrap around to what I'm going to probably use in the future as narrow gauge sheds, and it's the 2022 wooden railway sheds, because if you notice about this turntable, it can barely fit Duke, so it couldn't even fit engines like Murdoch on there or Molly, let alone some of the absolutely massive 2022 engines like Henry. So I'm just going to use it as the narrow gauge sheds. So if you come straight out of here, you have this small little yard right here that just has a couple trucks. And if you go this way, it goes back to platform 4 of the big jig station. You go through and you have Duncan with some coaches and a hand car. We're going to go on this line first, so it takes you through here, through this little countryside area where we have Caroline, wraps around over the flexi track to Skarloey, and I guess, I don't know, we'll call this Skarloey Station, and then Birdie, and then that just wraps right back around to this switch. If you go on Duncan's line, though, it's a different story. You go over the Green Bay Bridge and you come to a small switch. So if you go this way, you pass this switch right here, and then here you come to the bottom of the dumping depot with Peter Sam and Ivo Hugh. Then if we go back and go this way, you come to the clock tower, around this bend, and up to a piece I never get to use. It's this huge, like, I think that's like an Imaginarium set. And it's this really cool mountain piece. And we have Rusty with the construction cars here, and that just goes straight down to that T-switch. And finally, we have a small, but still decently sized quarry. And here we have Luke, Smudger, and Thumper. And Luke's in this, not the quarry mine tunnel, I actually don't know what this is called. I think it's like the Echo mine tunnel or something. And we also have Smudger, obviously, at Boulder Mountain, and because it's so much fun, show off the amazing play feat. Okay, if it would actually work. One moment. And of course, Boulder has a face, because there we go. And looking around and make sure I haven't missed anything, which I have not. I will stand up and give you one final overview of this amazing, amazing layout, honestly. I'm really proud of how this whole thing came out, and I can't wait to build more in the future. But for now, I will go back to Knapford and I will end off this video. And so, sorry about that, everybody. Phone just ran out of storage. But anyways, I just wanted to say thank you very, very much for watching this very, very long overdue layout video. And without further ado, this has been TWR Lover with a brand new layout video. I will see you later. Bye.